Hello, world. Welcome to Uphill 30. Very excited to be here for round two. We had a great episode, and we're back. And my name is Mo. Um,
My name is Matt.
and we're happy to be here. We're gonna talk some new things. We're going to do what we do best, and that's just honestly just talk.
Mo, what do you have for us today?
Well, you know what? I'm just getting back from vacation, and it was a great time with the family. I just learned the gender of my child to be, and turns out I'm having a daughter. I'm very excited. Uh, 4 months away, and just just thrilled, just a little nervous, but it's what being 30 is all about, right? Taking the extra steps to conquer your fears and do what we need to do to be a better person. So I think I'm going to be a great dad, and this is all part of my plan in life. So here we go. Let's do it.
It could be nerve-wracking, bud, but you got it. You got it.
Yes, sir. What's going on with you? How's everything with you? What's new?
Normal stuff. Nothing really. Just slipping and sliding in the backyard, pretty much. That's what I did this weekend. Not as exciting as your stuff, so not as exciting, but it's all good.
But yeah, dude, excited to see you and your family. We got some exciting things that we're going to be doing. And yeah, we're both going to be 30. So this is the first time we're going to see each other since we're both 30.
That is true. That is true. Absolutely.
So being 30, it's tough. It's about being an adult and it's about doing things. Doing things means having goals and setting the right goals and expectations with yourself. So I think let's start with there. What does setting goals mean to you?
Setting goals. Well, they have to be achievable. Um, short term, long term goals. Everything has to be achievable, and I guess a timely fashion. I'm not just gonna go like, make up some fairy tale and chase it down when it's impossible. So it has to be realistic. You know.
But you're not saying like to not set some high goals, right? Like what
No, no, no.
what do you
You can set
what do you
high
mean by that?
goals. Like, if you want to be a millionaire, you go chase that down. It's achievable goal. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying like, some people are just unrealistic. Like I'm gonna be, I know it sounds stupid, but I'm gonna be an astronaut. You know what I mean? I mean, there's limitations to that. If you have bad eyesight, I think it's like something to do. I don't know the actual thing, but there's things that will stop you from doing that. If you could do it, then do it. I mean, you know that's great. More power to you. But at the end of the day, like I'm not. Yeah, it's not happening. If I want to do that, it's not happening to me right now. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen.
Right, right.
Do
I
do
like
you
for
agree or
example,
disagree? Is the question. Do you agree or disagree with that?
so it's a double-edged sword to me. I feel like you know what I mean? Like you should definitely aim high. Like go
Absolutely.
crazy and aim as high as you possibly can. Even if it doesn't seem possible, I think if you just put in 1% of the work towards it, even a little bit, it's I'm not saying you're gonna do it, but like internally it's gonna feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
And
you gave it a shot. I can agree with that. I can. My main thing is like when it comes to goals, I would say excuses are the biggest thing that basically keeps someone from being, what their true potential is at the end of the day. Excuses like so when I talk about goal setting, like with friends or something like that, excuses are the first thing that you need to get rid of before you even set those goals. Because if you set your goals and you have those excuses still set on you, like your thought process, you just make excuses for everything, you're not going to achieve anything. It's a waste of time. You know what I mean? You're not going to go anywhere
Yeah.
if you're going to make excuses for yourself.
You know what? I can definitely relate to that because I think, I've always had big goals, but I'm so quick to find an excuse not to do it or not to do something about it. I'll give you a great example. So a couple months ago, you might remember this. I told you that like, hey man, I'm not liking my job right now. I think I could do better. I think, I could make more money. And I think I'm just complaining, right? I'm just like saying all the things that I'm hating about the job, but I'm not actively doing something about it. So in my mind, I said, you know what? This is where I am. I'm stuck here. It's not going to change. This is what it is. It is what it is. I can't do anything about it. Whatever I do, nothing's going to change. And the changing point for me was I think we had a conversation where, hey man, you have to hold yourself responsible because if you're going to still complain about the same, if you say you want to change and you're still talking about the same thing or complaining about the same thing that you did a month ago and you haven't done anything different, it's not anyone's fault but your fault. So I
Exactly.
had
I
the goal of
actually,
getting, I did, yeah. Do you remember that?
oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's funny you said because I actually wrote it down on my notes right here about that. Not your
No
in
way.
like not that conversation, but that in general is like one of the subjects I want to touch on for sure because I think I think a lot of people that's where the excuses come into play. There's like there's different people out there. Everyone's different. So put it this way: you could be a type of person that just keeps on making excuses for themselves over and over, just unintentionally making excuses, not even meaning to. Oh, I can't do this or that because of something. You know what I mean? Or I can't do it because someone's in my way. It's not. No one's in your way. It's you. It's a mental block in your head. It really people make it too complicated. I think really it's just unlocking it in your brain. Just get rid of the excuses. Notice your excuses. If you start noticing those excuses, you'll start getting that pattern down and then you'll start achieving those goals. So like when people are new to goals and stuff, I always say start out a little small because if you make unintentional excuses, you'll notice that and you should pay attention to that and get rid of those and start achieving those small things and then start aiming bigger. You know what I mean?
You brought up a great point just now about people making excuses, and sometimes it's not always you making the excuse. When you bring that idea of wanting to do something or having a goal to someone that you care about and someone that you're looking for support, and they make an excuse for you, like
Right. Yep. Don't.
that's also going to hold you back. I'm going to go back to my
Yep.
example of getting a new job. I remember I talked to someone at work and I was like, hey, I think I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I think I could do better. And the person, my colleague at the time, said to me, nah, this is you're setting yourself up for failure. That you're doing great. Just keep what you're doing and it'll get better. And
Right.
in my mind, at that moment, it was comfort. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, this person is hearing me out. It makes sense what they're saying, but then like part of what was happening is like they're kind of bringing me down and kind of not, telling me don't chase my goal, don't work towards it, making excuses for me.
You have to be a strong enough person to overcome those things because there's always going to be someone telling you stay in your comfort zone, because they stood in their comfort zone their entire lives. That's on you.
When you have a goal, when you want to do something, um, how do you start? What's the first thing you do?
Uh, Me personally, I pray about it first. Um, Sometimes, there were times where I just jump into it and I'll write it down. Like, first thing I do is write it down. And then I think about it and I image it in my brain. Can I see myself doing something like this? And obviously, I'm talking about something bigger. You know what I mean? I don't want to, you know, small goals, obviously, that's like quick, let's write it down, let's do it type of thing. If it's a bigger goal, though, I definitely want to sit on that. I want it to fester in my brain, and I want to imagine it, and I want to keep repeating it over and over. And if I want it that bad, it'll just be a repeat in my brain. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm gonna get it one way or another, or I'm gonna make it to this point, or whatever the case is. That's what I do.
Honestly, writing it down, writing a goal down is apparently one of the best ways to start something. Whether it's something small like getting out of bed, because there's some people that it's hard for them to get out of bed, or something big like save $1,000 this month.
Right. Yep.
Like once you write it down, it's you writing your intention, and it's now you have it somewhere.
Like writing stuff down and putting it on the wall, what you said is awesome. Another thing, so like if you're, say you have a dream property you want to buy, you want 30 acres or something, get a picture of it and put it on your wall so you see it every day. Like, so you
Ooh,
see it in front of you every day. I mean, that's what I did that with my motorcycle. So I wanted the motor.
no way.
I had the picture. Yeah, I had a picture of it, and I was like, "This is what I'm gonna work towards. Like, this is a want. It's not my main priority. It's not like I'm gonna, sink money that I don't have into it and totally blow it. I was responsible with it, but for years, I saved, and it was on the back burner for a while, and I finally, it took years. I did it. You know what I mean?
Because I believe there's a word for that, where you put a picture of something, and you when you wake up every morning and it's the first thing you see, it sticks with you. So it's definitely a good thing to just put up a picture, like you said, with your motorcycle. Setting goals is great and all, but when it comes to actually doing it, it's not always the easiest thing. So, you know what? Why don't you tell me a goal that you had and how you achieved it?
So I bought this house. That was my goal. I had a previous house. That was my first house was my goal. Wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but eventually I got this one in Kentucky, which is one that I was, you know, more imaging. And I actually have other, I do want property one day and stuff. So that's the next thing. But how I achieved it, just basically taking my skills at work and stuff and just using them. It took a long time to basically, I wouldn't even say master because I didn't master it, but I get better and better every day. It's because I keep critiquing myself and um, basically changing things that I do. There's certain things that I messed up on. It gets a little involved, but overall, I mean, critiquing is a big thing in your goals. That you're never going to get it on the first shot, and if you do, that's awesome. But trial and error, failures, you got to fail. Is there something you want to do in life that you're not making it to? What's holding you back? And then what are your excuses to not getting to it?
You make some great points because excuses. I think it's going back to excuses. It keeps people from limiting. It limits people from doing what they are set out to do. Because I think destiny is definitely a thing. I believe in destiny. I think there's people that have things written about them that in the greater, like God even has
Yeah.
a plan for them, right? And there's so many excuses or limits to what people think that they can do, and that's not the case. People are capable of anything. And actually, someone really close to me told me this. When you walk into a building or a room or anywhere or an airport, there is nothing different from you or the person next to you. There's nothing stopping you from doing the same thing, basically, is what I'm trying to say. If
It's true.
anyone in the world, you can be that person. You just have to do it. You just have to try to find a way to do it. And I think the biggest thing that stops people from doing it is also believing in yourself.
Oh yeah,
When
100%.
people stop believing in themselves, huge like deal breaker. But that goes back to confidence. So let me ask you this: confidence and goals, are they
That's
are
a
they in the same line? Are they different?
that's a very good question. So I think confidence. You do need confidence with anything that you do in life, but there is such thing as too much confidence, which can actually bring you down too. It's like so too much of anything can break you down at the end of the day. So
Yes, sir.
you learn as you go, I guess. I have moments where I get too confident and it messes you up. I crash my other bike. In simple, that's a very simple thing. You know what I mean? I crash. I mean,
Yeah.
it happens, but I was too confident and it happens, So don't do it. Just
Yeah.
relax, take a deep breath, think before you do something. Simple as that,
You
man.
ever heard of the story of Icarus?
I feel like I have. I don't. I
So
feel like you
it
told me this. I don't know.
it's an old Greek story where I forgot the dad's name, but basically Icarus was told not to fly too close to the sun by his father. And Icarus, he had a goal. It was to fly like no one else, fly like the birds and do crazy things and get as high as he can. But along the way, he got too cocky. He had the goal, but he got way too cocky and he got way too confident. And basically, he flew too close to the sun, as the saying goes, and his wings that he had melted off. But you can't be cocky to the point where you're doing too much. Is that is
Yeah.
that is that does that make
No,
sense?
that's a thing. Not always too much. Just don't go too far.
Yes, that's it. That's exactly it. Do not go too far because there's a line, and once you cross that line, you're not confident anymore. You're just being an idiot.
You were talking about the airport.
At the airport, yeah, when you
The
walk
airport.
in, there's
Yeah.
nothing, and you see like a million people in the airport, but there's nothing separating you from the other people there.
This is the only thing. Like this is the thing I want to touch on because everyone. I speak to a lot of people and they use this as an excuse all the time. Where they come from. My view on that. I met a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds. A lot of successful people. I met a lot of people that failed too, that just don't care and don't move forward in life. And some of these people are from backgrounds where they don't come from much. Some of these people have everything in the world, you know. We both know a person that, you know, ended their life and they had a lot. And it's sad as hell. It really is sad.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's it's a I don't know. It's a powerful thing, I guess, seeing someone, and this happens all the time. It does. I've heard of stories from other people too. It's sad to see that you can have so much, but yet so little to where you just end it. You know?
right. I think I think you said backgrounds. Some people say because of my background I can't do this.
Right.
That's
Exactly. Oh, it's an
that's
excuse. It's an
it's an
excuse.
excuse. It absolutely is an excuse. There's
Yeah.
nothing stopping you from doing what you want to do. It's no matter where you grew up, no matter where you come from, no matter how much money you make, no
Yeah.
matter how
It
much
doesn't
your
matter about money.
parents are making, no matter what school you went to, everyone has the same ambition. Everyone has the same two legs, the two hands. As long as you have all your senses, there's nothing separating you from the other person.
There are. I thought you were going somewhere else with that. even if you're missing limbs and stuff, I mean, you can still go very far in life. I mean, that's not.
That's
Yeah.
that's Steve. Steve has no limbs.
Holy smokes, man. I swear. I thought you were going there. It sounded like you were. I was really nervous there for a second. I was like, oh no.
Talking of limbs, there's people with less limbs than a normal person that are extremely athletic, crazy.
Well,
Like,
and just successful, period, dude, because they did something. Because they did something with their lives. They were at that. I've seen a bunch of videos like that, man. There were
yeah,
no hope for me. That's what their mindsets were. I mean, and that's a you know that's a great example because it's the abnormal situation. It's not,
can't
it's
help
a
it, right?
not everyone goes through that. So, I mean, you are right in a sense. Listen, there is, regardless, there's still no excuse. You know what I mean? You could still make something of yourself, regardless of your situation. Doesn't like, and you said money. I feel like money is a huge topic, man. People think because I got no money, I can't do anything. That's a bunch of, it's a bunch of BS, man. It is. I mean, you can do anything really. I mean,
I
you want
think
to
the
touch on
greatest
that?
stories, I think the greatest stories and some of the greatest people are the ones that make a lot of money that come from nothing.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing too. There's a lot of stories of people who had money and blew it all and lost everything. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah,
but you have to give credit though to the people who do have money and they keep it going. And they keep making something of themselves. I mean, you can look at it from whatever point of view you want. Regardless, money doesn't last long. You could spend money like that; it could all be gone. That's why I say money isn't success. I never look at money as success. It's a nice thing, and it does come hand in hand sometimes. And I think I said that last time too, but I'll say it again. It's the truth. I mean, you don't need money to be successful. Money is not success. Success is what's in your heart and what you're working towards. So if you're working towards, a house and you get that house, that is success. You are successful. You got a family, you want a family, you have family, kids, that is successful. You want a motorcycle, you get it, car, whatever, truck, that's successful because you work towards it. You did it, congratulations.
I think everything you just said is goals, right? And
Yeah.
at some point, people, and yourself included, said, these are going to be my goals. And you wrote it down and you got a plan and you did it. So it just goes to show once you have a goal, there's nothing stopping you from doing it. You just have to find a way. There's always going to be a way, whether it's just doing something so little and doing at least 10% towards the goal in a month span. Just do it because as long as you're actively trying little by little, it's better than not trying at all.
I was gonna say to like just try to make someone happy. Like that's a goal too. You know what I mean? I want to make someone happy. I want to make my wife happy. Buy her flowers. I mean, it's not so much. That could be a goal too. You want to do. You don't have to do the same thing over and over, but at least like you should do something every day. To make someone's day better. You know, I think that goes a long way. That goes a long way for everyone. If you're doing someone nice for someone else, I mean, that's awesome.
I feel like when you're just a nice person and you do nice things are just gonna find a way to. I'm not saying you should expect nice things to happen to you, but that's usually how it goes. Because once you do good things happen to you. Just gotta keep the mindset positive.
Yep.
Have good thoughts, have good intentions, and try to do the best thing. Try to be the best you can every day of your life. And as long as you keep in that same mindset, you will crush any goal in the world, whether it's a giant goal or a small goal or a little goal or a medium goal. Just try your best and try to make yourself happy and the people around you happy, and you will be fine.
Maybe people who do wrong things to get, you know, to basically get to their goals and dreams. This
Ooh,
is like kind of
ooh,
a twist on everything. I don't know if I
that
want
is
this or not,
that
but
is a very good. That's a good question. So you're talking about if a person has a goal, and to get to that goal, they do something bad along the way to achieve their goal.
yeah, and believe it or not, I don't know if it happens often. I don't like this is the whole thing. I feel like I know of people who've done it, and there are a lot of. This is the thing too. You got to be careful, man. There's snakes in the grass, man. Like there's people out there that are famous that are just evil, okay, evil people that made it, and they put on this persona of working hard, and no doubt they probably did, but done some bad things along the way to get to where they've been, and I'm not like I don't know as far as specific names and stuff, but we talk about that another time. But as far as there are people like that out there, and I always say steer clear of those type of people. Don't get wrapped up in it. I had people that I met that are like that. It's dangerous, dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
You're playing with
So
fire.
there's definitely people that do achieve their goals, and they're crooked, and they
Mhm.
find devious ways to achieve their goals. Are they are they justified? Are they are they in their mind doing the right thing?
Do they trick their mind? This is the thing, man. If you can justify it in your mind that it's okay, does not mean it's not okay.
Right,
Because it
because
doesn't
there's
matter
still
what you want as far as like it doesn't. Sorry, it's not. It's not all about you. You know what I'm saying? It's not. At the end of the day, I mean, there's a. I go by me personally. I go by everything. I try. I'm not a perfect person by any means, but I try to live by the law of the Bible. At the end of the day, that's me. So and I feel like most people, maybe not most people, but there are people out there that live that way too, and that's the way you should live. At the end of the day, um, just good code ethics. No lying, cheating, stealing. I mean, it's basic stuff.
I've heard this question where, let's say you live in a medieval time where it's just you and your neighbor, right? And your neighbor has food and you have no food. You have to feed your family. Are you gonna kill your neighbor and take their food to feed your family? Is
Learn
that
how to
justified?
hunt. I don't know. Learn how to hunt. Don't kill your neighbor, man. That's at least go over and say, "Hey, bud, can I borrow some food? I'll pay you back. I'll try." You know what I mean? Like that's
What if they're like,
no,
nah, they just slam the door in your face?
that's wrong, man. That's wrong. You know, and this is the thing, man. Like, if you, for instance, if you were in a situation like that, right? Say the world ends, all chaos, crazy stuff, right? Let's get something scary going on. Those thoughts will go through everyone's head. They will. I mean, no matter what background you come from, what you believe in, it doesn't matter. Those thoughts will go through your head. But it takes the power of the mind and the heart to not do those things. Are you strong enough not to do that? No, you don't want your family to starve, but you will find another way. That's going to be your new goal. That's it's the harder road sometimes to do the right thing. But the right thing at the end of the day, at least you can go out with a clear conscience and not even have to think about justifying it in your own head.
Right. And I think the path you paved along the way is just much better, and it's a better feeling to
Hmm.
do something the right way. So keep a clear mind and make sure you do the right thing, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have to, you know, justify your actions, right? At some point, and it's better to do it the right way than the wrong way. And it's gonna feel much better at when you finish your goal, when you do it the right way, and you worked hard, you did all the things you were gonna say, and when you finally do what you want to do, it's just a better feeling to know that you put in the effort and you worked hard and you finally did it.
Yeah, it's true.
The way they speak about achieving their goals, you could tell how pure or how twisted it is on how they
Yeah.
did it. And you know if
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a good person or it's a bad person.
Yeah, I mean, some people are sly, man. There's like, people think that some others are out for the greater good, and they're not, and it is what it is. If you're trying to justify something, you're already messed up. And I
Sure.
hate to
Yeah.
say it like that because there's always a fine line. And just over that fine line, if you're trying to justify something, and we all been there. We all been there.
And that's how a good person turns into a bad person
Yeah.
when the pattern is repeated multiple times.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
the first one, if it's an accident, I get it. But if you're doing the same thing over and over, it's no longer an accident. It's a decision.
so yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say this. You want to instead of using your patterns for good or for bad, use it for good, and in a sense of use it for making goals, use it for getting rid of those excuses, and use it for making someone happy at the end of the day. Um,
Yeah. Use your good intentions to achieve your goals and achieve your goals with a good heart, because if you don't, you're going to turn into a villain, and we don't want that.
yeah, I got one last thing to say. Be a free thinker. That's all I got to say. Be a free thinker. Don't let society think for you. Don't let them eat you alive. Don't let them make your decisions and make your excuses. Don't do it. Y'all
Hell
have a
yeah.
good
Ooh, episode 2. Let's go.
one.